It's Saturday morning cartoons. I believe it's the last Saturday morning cartoons of the month of August, which has been a crazy month. Every month's crazy for all of us, but this one has been especially weird with world events and such. Uh, but anyway, usually for Saturday morning cartoons, I try to do something cartoonish. Uh, and when our son was Jean-Paul, when he was uh, very, very young, I would make flip cartoons to to amuse him. And I'd just take a plain uh, pad of plain white paper, kind of cheap paper you could kind of see through kind of thing. And then I would prepare a little cartoon that was uh, just to show things moving and things like that. And one of my favorites, and I think it's upstairs somewhere, but it's really hard to show you on camera, um, is I set up a city scene with one large skyscraper, maybe 15 stories high, kind of thing, with windows and everything else, and maybe another building or so in the background. But uh, it's really easy kind of to do. You set the building up, you make the building on the very back page, and then you put another sheet in front of it, and then just trace over the building, and then keep on doing that so that that building stays stationary as you flip the, the pages. Well, that's what I did. Okay, and my most brilliant cartoon was a skyscraper. Okay, and out of the front door walks a stick man, and the stick man walks over to the side of the building, and he climbs up the side of the building. Okay, all the you flipping. He climbs up the side of the building and goes all the way to the top. And then other stick figures, stick men and women, walk in from either side, and they look up at him at the top of the building. And as he stands at the top of the building, he starts to teeter like this. And then I write in little captions in the over the heads of the stick people on the ground saying, "Jump, jump, jump." And he keeps going back and forth while they say, "Jump, jump, jump." And then instead of him jumping, the people on the ground then rise up helplessly, rise up in the air and completely disappear at the top of the page. And then the stick man that's left on the top of the building climbs down the building again and goes inside and disappears inside. And then the building takes off with like rocket engines shooting out the back, and and it disappears at the top. That was I'll try to find it. I wish there was a way I could preserve it so you could actually see it. But uh, but I digress. At Monday Night Magic class, we're going through the Tarot Trump section of the Book of Thoth, Crowley's Book of Thoth, and we're taking them the cards one at a time and reading what Crowley has to say in the Book of Thoth. But then class goes off on that. That card's related discussion and digressions throughout the night. And so we're on the Emperor. We've gotten as far as the Emperor card. But it occurred to me on on cartoon Saturday morning cartoons, uh, that I wanted to do a little thing because at the very end of the Book of Thoth, Crowley has a two-page thing called the Atu mnemonics. And it takes every Hebrew letter assigned to every card and has a one sentence. Yeah, I think they're all just a one sentence comment on the Hebrew letter vis-a-vis its tarot card. And I thought I would flip cartoon that because it'll only take a second. So starting with the Fool, truth, laughter, lust, wine's holy fool, veil rent, lewd madness is sublime enlightenment. Bet. The word of wisdom weaves the web of lies, weds irreducible infinities. Gimel. Mother, moon maiden, playmate, bride of Pan, God's angel minister to every man. Beauty, display thine empire. Truth above thoughts reach. The wholeness of the world is love. Now I gotta digress for a second here. The Empress is that horizontal path that stretches from number 3, Bina, to number 2, Hokmah. The father and the mother, the great father and the mother, the great Shiva and Shakti, the great Babylon and the beast is joined by that path of love. And that whole setup is above the abyss, is above the world of the Ruach, of the reason. So beauty, display thine empire, truth above thoughts reach. The wholeness of the world is love. Tzadi, sire and inceptor, emperor and king of all things mortal. Hail him, Lord of Spring. Vav. Wisdom to each apportioned to his want by modes of light, shed forth the great Hierophant. Zion. To each his understanding sooth discovers wordless. Your mode, immortal twins and lovers. Chet. Behold the chariot, through the water flood, the sangreal, life and rapture, wines and bloods. Tet, or Teth. The lion serpent begets gods. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, we have this out of whack here. There we go. Tet. The lion serpent begets gods. Thy throne rampant beast, Our Lady Babylon. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. I'll probably have that all mixed up next time I see it. Yud, most secret seed of all life's serpent plan. Virgin, the hermit goes, dumb guardian. This should be the... Not quite yet. There we go. Kaf. Sped by its energies triune, the wheel of fortune spins its axle immobile. Adjustment. Lamed. Rhythm rives through every act. Wild is the dance. Its balance is exact. Okay, excuse me while I turn the page here because I'm juggling all of these things here. Oh. Mem. In mother deeps of ocean, the god-man hangs, lamp of the abyss, Aeonian. Nun. Eagle and snake and scorpion, the dance of death whirls life from trance to trance to trance. Samach. Solve coagula by vitriol, vitriol, shewn, the tincture, the elixir, and the stone. Eopan. Upon the summits the goat god leaps in wild lust of ecstasy afloat. Pay. Bellona, scream, unhood the hawks, the roar of universe crashing into war. Nuit. Our Lady of the Stars, event is all thy play, sublime experiment. Kuf. Witch moon, upon thy beck of blood afloat the midnight beetle's brave prophetic boat. Resh. The Son, our Father, soul of life and light, love and play freely, sacred in thy sight. Shin. Nuit, Hadit, Rahur Kuit, the aeon of the twin child, exult, O Empyrean. And finally, Tav. Naught becomes all to realize the span of naught. O perfect universe of Pan. And has nowhere to go but there again. Anyway, so that's the mnemonic of the Atu. Let's see how is our time going here, because in another section of the Book of Thoth that very few people immediately think about turning to is the general characteristics of the trumps as they appear in use. And he's got a little something to say for each of those too, which is pretty damn good stuff. And I, with your permission, if you're not doing anything, if you're still eating your cereal this Saturday morning, I'll share those with you too. This is from the general characters of the trumps as they appear in use. And I'll probably have that mix up with Hay and Sadi and stuff, but I hope you'll forgive me. Okay. No, not. All ways are lawful to innocence. Pure folly is the key to initiation. Silence breaks into rapture. It continues, it continues. Okay. Be neither man nor woman, but both in one. Be silent, babe in the egg of blue, that thou mayest grow to bear the lance and grail. Wander alone and sing in the king's palace. His daughter awaits thee. The magician, Magus. The true self is the meaning of the true will. Know thyself through thy way. Calculate well the formula of thy way. Create freely. Absorb joyously. Divide intently. Consolidate completely. Work thou, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent in and for eternity. Priestess, purity is to live only to the highest, and the highest is all. Be thou as Artemis to Pan. Read thou in the book of the law and break through the veil of the Virgin. This is the harmony of the universe, that love unites the will to create with understanding that creation. Understand thou thine own will. Love, and let love. Rejoice in every shape of love, and get thy rapture and thy nourishment thereof. Okay. Now, this one would be for Sadi, and that would read, here I'm going to juggle around. Use all thy energy to rule thy thought. Burn up thy thought as the phoenix. How about that one? Now, the Hierophant. Offer thyself virgin to the knowledge and conversation of thine holy guardian angel. All else is a snare. Be thou athletic in the 8 limbs of yoga, for without these thou art not disciplined for any fight. Now, all that guardian angel talk is because just remember that the Hierophant is Vav, and Vav is the letter of the Tetragrammaton that rules Sephira 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. And in the center of that is the Holy Guardian Angel in number 6. Okay, but I digress. Coming next is the Lovers. And the alternate title of the Lovers is the Oracle of the Gods, or Children of the Voice, too. The Oracle of the Gods is the child voice of love in thine own soul. Hear thou it. Heed not the siren voice of sense or the phantom voice of reason. Rest in simplicity and listen to the silence. That's the Holy Grail. It's got a real big Holy Grail there, and he's showing us what's inside there, okay? Now, this is the strangest of all of his comments here on this section about this. The issue of the vulture, 2 in 1 conveyed. This is the chariot of power. Trink, T-R-I-N-C, Trink, the last oracle. Now, without getting into it too far, and this observation certainly isn't, a proper commentary on this sort of mysterious little comment here. The issue of the vulture. The vulture has, in Egyptian iconography, has traditionally been associated with divine let's see, what is the word? Divine conception. Being a mother being impregnated by something other than natural means. Virgin birth, in other words. In the Christian myth, Gabriel appeared to Mary, okay, in the form of a dove, and knocked her up. And in Egypt, the vulture has always been associated with air, and air as spirit, pneuma, and I guess Egyptians never caught vultures in the act of mating. But they did see vultures all the time when the hot wind blew. They'd stand on the ground and turn their backs to the wind, and it appeared that the wind was blowing up their butts, and so they say, "Oh wow, the wind must be making them pregnant," and the wind is the spirit and the soul and stuff. So the issue of the vulture, in other words, the divine birth, the divine thing, the divine egg that hatches miraculously, two in one conveyed. Okay, and this is an alchemical thing. Two in one conveyed, the eagle and the lion. Two in one conveyed, the egg and the sperm. Two in one conveyed, the blood that's in the Holy Grail. This is the chariot of power. Trink, the last oracle. Among other things, I'm sure we can dissect the many Latin phrases that have the initials of TRINC. None that have made any sense to me. But in the story of Panurge or Gargantua and Pantagruel, the main character, Panurge, wanted to ask the gods a question, should I marry? Should I marry? Lovers. Should I marry? And so he goes to the oracle of the bottle, and I tell this story all the time. He goes to the oracle of the bottle, and he asks the bottle, "Is marriage right for me?" And the bottle just sits there, and then it cracks. It goes trink. And his interpretation of that sound, trink, gave him his answer. And for those who like to make words out of noises, which is what they are, they say that affirmative action, that affirmative sound, drink deep in life, okay, or nourish yourself with that marriage, okay. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. Okay. The issue of the vulture, two in one conveyed. This is the chariot of power. Trink, the last oracle. Another thing to remember is the chariot also, the path of the chariot also crosses the abyss from number 5 directly to the mother, like delivering that Holy Grail all the way up to Babylon herself. And then she does cool stuff with it. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to have to do this next. Oh, no. What am I doing? Balance. Each thought, balance against each thought, its exact opposite. For the marriage of these is the annihilation of illusion. Okay, and the next one is, hang on. Here we go. Come on. Wander alone, bearing the light in thy staff, and be thou the light so bright that no man seeth thee. Be not moved by aught without or within. Keep silence in all thy ways. Follow thy fortune, careless where it lead thee. The axle moveth not. There's all that action going on around it, but the axle moveth not. Feeling, thought, and ecstasy are but the cerements of me, thrown off like planets from the sun, ye are but satellites of the one. But should your revolution stop, ye would inevitably drop headlong into the central soul, and all the parts become the whole. Okay, what's next here? Mitigate energy with love, but let love devour all things. Worship the name, blank, foursquare, mystic, wonderful, and the name of his house, 418. Let not the waters wherein thou journeyest wet thee. And being come to shore, plant thou the vine and rejoice without shame. Sort of in reference to the biblical story of Noah, that when he finally landed on Mount Ararat, he planted a vineyard, got himself really drunk, got naked and ran around town, and his children were ashamed of him and said, "Come on, Pop." They cover anyway. The universe's change. Every change is the effect of the act of love. Wow. I'm saying it one more time. The universe's change, yet every change is the effect of an act of love. All acts of love contain pure joy. Die daily. Death is the apex of one curve of the snake of life. Behold all opposites as necessary complements and rejoice. The art card. Now that death card, that nun, provides the heat that will be. See, that death card is right there, that death's head on that cauldron. That's the gentle heat that's going to incubate that egg. Pour thine all freely from the vase in thy right hand, and loose no drop. Hath now thy left hand a vase? Transmute all wholly into the image of thy will, bringing each to its true token of perfection. Dissolve the pearl in the wine cup. Drink and make manifest the virtue of that pearl. Now, those who are inspired by the mysteries of the OTO's particular magic will find great wisdom in these particular things here. The devil. With thy right eye create all for thyself, and with thy left accept all that be created otherwise. The tower. Break down the fortress of thine individual self, that thy truth may spring from thee from the ruins. Now I got to turn back to what used to be the emperors. Pour water on thyself, thus shalt thou be a fountain to the universe. Find thou thyself in every star, achieve thou every possibility. Let's see here. Am I missing something? Let the illusion of the world pass over thee unheeded, as thou goest from the midnight to the morning. Give forth thy light to all without doubt. The clouds and shadows are no matter for thee. Make speech and silence, energy and stillness, twin forms of thy play. Be every act an act of love and worship. Be every act the fiat of a god. Be every act a source of radiant glory. Treat time and all conditions of event as servants of thy will, appointed to present the universe to thee in the form of thy plan. And blessing and worship to the prophet of the lovely star. And the tarot sequence ends with the big zero. And there's only one way to go from there, and that's the big zero, the Fool starting it all over again. Anyway, that's it. I thought it was going to be really short, but there's the flip cartoons of the tarot, and if you're a student of the Book of Thoth, give that section of the book some attention, because it gets really good. And as you're studying each of the cards in the main text, don't omit reading those from not only the central appendix, but the end appendix too. So that's it for today. Continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow for Sunday school. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.